I was having nerves the morning of. I've been pretty solid in my decision, but that morning I started getting kind of nervous because, you know, surgery is surgery and there's risk, and they ask you all these deep questions about, do you have an advance directive? Do you have a living will? And I'm like, no, but I got life insurance. Oh yeah, baby. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Sleeve Me Please. Thank you for sticking around and watching me ramble. I really do appreciate it so far. We're gonna go on a journey together. Today I'm just gonna talk about surgery day. It was May 16th, and I'm just gonna go through like story form of kind of what happened. And I'll be inserting clips of me talking about God knows what and doing random things while I was in my hospital stay. While I'm on anesthesia, so that should be really interesting. I'm debating about posting that. But anyway, I'll start with my stats. So my starting weight on May 1st was 285. My surgery day weight on May 16th was 263. My goal weight is 160, and I'm hoping to hit that before next May. So anytime before next May will just be a blessing. But my current weight is 255. So I have lost a total of 30 pounds since May 1st. And so that's what really, really excited me. I woke up on the day of surgery, kind of, you know, antsy, ready to roll, just waiting for my time. They called me the day before and told me to come in at noon. But then on surgery day, I guess things were moving really fast in the hospital. So they called me and said, hey, I can come early if I want to. So at around 10 a.m., I went to the store to go get a couple things. And while I was doing that, I was really thinking to myself, I'm like, whoa, I lost 22 whole pounds in 16 days from the liquid fast. And so I started to think to myself, I was like, do I really need this surgery? Because if I can lose 22 pounds in 16 days just drinking shakes and water and Gatorade, like, what if I just do that for life? Now, obviously, that doesn't make sense because as soon as I start eating, all that weight will come back times 3. So I had to convince myself to go forward with the surgery because I was having nerves the morning of. I've been pretty solid in my decision, but that morning I started getting kind of nervous because, you know, surgery is surgery and there's risk, and they ask you all these deep questions about, do you have an advance directive? Do you have a living will? And I'm like, no, but I got life insurance. And that's all I can say. So I started thinking about, oh my gosh, what if something goes wrong? And today's my last day, just doing the most. But ultimately everything was fine, obviously. But I was just really, really excited about the fact that pre-surgery I had already lost, you know, some weight that mattered. And so I was feeling good because now I'm back at my size that I was last summer. And so now I kind of really do feel like I have a jump start into like progress happening over the next few months. So after I came back from the store, I hurried up and packed for the hospital. And what I decided to pack was a little book bag, like a little book bag of my vitamins, because I wanted to show them to my doctor again, make sure I got everything in advance. And I packed some fuzzy socks. I was wearing a loose fitting gown, like a sundress. But I packed an extra sundress just in case I ended up spending the night. Now listen, y'all, my insurance did not cover 2 nights. So when I came into the hospital, listen to me. When I came into the hospital, I was like, my goal today is bump everything. My goal today is to not spend the night. I wanted to be out of that hospital by midnight. No later, because it only covered 1 day. And so that was a big feat. Most people do not leave the same day. They usually leave either the next day or the day after. But I was like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get out of here. And my surgery actually didn't start till like 1 o'clock. So I was kind of on the late schedule. So it was almost probability wise that I was going to stay in the hospital. But I was like, nope, So anyway, when I arrived, we parked really far. So we walked like 1.5 miles to get to the front of the hospital. So I felt like I was kind of exercising in advance. But we made it to the front. I went to registration, just, you know, say your name, and they send you straight to the surgery waiting room. And I wasn't sitting there more than 2 minutes before they came instantly. It was like, all right, come on back. So I left my stuff with my husband, Q, and he brought my son because I pulled him out of daycare. That's a long story. And I left my stuff with them in the lobby. And then immediately when I went back, you have to take a pregnancy test because, of course, you can't have your surgery if you're pregnant. And I was like, dear God, do not let this happen today. And of course, he came through. No babies anytime soon. And so after you do that, you have to go to your room and you get dressed. And I'll insert a clip about, you know, what I have to put on. All right, guys, I have to talk quietly, but I'm at the hospital, and my nurse just came in and explained everything to me. Basically, I just kind of walked right in and went to the back, and she's getting me ready to change into my stuff. I'm gonna flip the camera so you guys can see. So I have to put on a hat, get down to my birthday suit, wear a robe. They gave me this just in case, you know. Put my clothes in that bag. They gave me some socks. The only thing truly interesting that they have is these wipes. You have to wipe down with this wipe, and it's going to be sticky. But other than that, that's it. After I get dressed and everything's stabilized, they're going to let Q and my son come back here. So yeah. After you get ready, the nurse comes in, and then you start getting your series of medications, a bunch of shots really, just to kind of get you ready for anesthesia. So mostly things to calm your nerves and calm anxiety and just slow your heart rate a little bit. They gave you blood clot, things to help you not have a blood clot in your leg that will travel. And a whole bunch of other medical stuff that I don't know of. Either way, I was feeling like a little bit high, but not really. It was like just chilling. Like it was the most chill vibe. I was cracking jokes. Everybody was laughing. It kind of didn't feel like I was at the hospital. It was too happy. Like it was a great time. I had a grand time with my nurse. Then of course, Dr. Hakame came in, and he, comes in to talk to me, kind of checks where my head is, trying to see if I'm excited or scared. And of course, I'm hype. I'm like, let's go. And he talks to me for a while. He answers my last couple questions, which were things I had already asked previously. Like, am I going to have any issues with gallbladder? Are you going to fix my hernia? And just, is there anything that I need to know that you haven't told me before? And he was like, nope. You know everything. You've asked everything. You ready to go? And I was like, all right, let's get it. And then, so after he left, I remember it taking a little while longer, probably 30 more minutes. And then the anesthesiologist came in and talked to me, made me sign some stuff. And then they rolled me out. So I sat by my 2-year-old was just upset at the whole day. So I'm saying bye, like, bye, Joe. I hope you have a good day. I'll see you when I get out, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he's just looking at me like, and he wouldn't say bye. I was like, now, dang nabbit, if this is going to be my last day, the least you could do is say goodbye to your mother. But anyway, so they rolled me out. It was all dramatic, Grey's Anatomy style. I was living for it.
All right, Miss Cheryl, thank you so much. You're welcome.
Okay, we'll take good care of her. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
And so they open the doors, and it's like you go into the doors and it's like heaven, like it's white lights. And I'm like, ooh, this is kind of scary. But I get into the surgery room and cracking jokes with the nurses because, of course, comedy is my way of coping with situations all the time, healthy or unhealthy. It's what I do. But and I remember saying something and wanting that joke to land. And before I know it, before I got the like laughing reaction, I was asleep. And so the next thing that happened is that I was in a recovery area of the hospital, and they were waking me up. And I remember, now this is what I do remember, waking up was terrible. This is the whole part of the day that was just awful. So when I woke up, it was just like immediately being hit with the fact that you have just had surgery.
Let's set this down and wait another minute or two, then you can have another sip, okay? All right. So 1 ounce of fluid takes 10 minutes to sip, no gulping. Don't worry about, you can start 2 hours after surgery, so that's what we're doing. When you get home, I'll go over the discharge paperwork once you tolerate everything and get up and walk and pee. Then we'll let you go home, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Right, you're welcome. You keep all these on ice.
Good.
You can eat as much ice as you want. So that's fine.
I haven't had major surgery in a while, and so the last biggest surgery I've had was just getting all 4 of my wisdom teeth pulled out a couple months ago. Yes, I know I should have got it done at like 15, but whatever. I just got them pulled out a couple months ago, and so that was the last like surgery I've had. But when I woke up from this, it was crazy. It was like being hit by a bus. I wasn't in pain per se, but I just could not wake up. It was like being high, but not being high. And you're just sitting there like in this like awkward middle reality you see everything happen around you, hear everything, you're in real time, but your body is just so far behind reality that you're not even able to like verbalize that, hey, I'm in the room. Like, I hear you. I want to do what you're asking me to do. You're telling me to get up and walk. And I'm like, I got you. Just give me like 25 minutes to like respond.
Just keep your eyes open. Come on, girl. Let's get her done. Try not to run over anything. Your eyes open?
I'm just going to film so I can record.
So it just felt really, I don't like not being in control of myself. And so it just felt like everyone around me was just in real time, and I'm trying to catch up in slow motion while they're going like this. And I'm like, wait on me, wait on me. And I couldn't wake up, but there are certain requirements that you have to do in order to get discharged. Number one, you have to go number one in the bathroom. You have to go pee. If you don't do that, you can't leave the hospital. And then you have to get up and walk several rounds around your floor of the hospital from door to door on each side. So, and you have to be awake. You can't they're not going to send you groggy back home. And so, and you have to drink, 5 4-ounce cups. 4 of the cups are, water, and another cup is the protein shake. And they're just little cups like this. And when I tell you, you know how people like take shots? It's about the size of a shot bottle. You think that you can just, okay, I got this. No, just come on, let me get out of the hospital and just drink that and go. It took me like 6 hours to drink all 5 of those. And I didn't actually finish it until I saw the clock strike 11, and instantly I was like coming out of myself with energy. And I was like, okay, but you literally sip. It takes you 10 minutes to finish each one. And that's if you go through each. It took me 6 hours. I could not drink any faster than that.
Hey, Ben, how you doing?
Yeah. I'm doing good. Surgery went well. I can leave if I can walk and finish my drinks. Nothing is really happening. It was just, you can feel the absence of your stomach. It's like your stomach does not hurt. You can kind of feel the incision pain, but your actual stomach doesn't hurt. But you can feel this weird phantom feeling, like almost a phantom pain of where your big stomach used to be, and now it's like this small. But your stomach is ultimately like this big. they cut it down to a banana size of like that. So all this negative space in your abdomen, you can feel that something's missing, but it doesn't hurt. It's just uncomfortable. So if I sit up in the bed and I slouch down like this, it's like I'm just like having an empty cabin feeling in my chest. So that was a little bit painful, but it was more just uncomfortable and awkward versus painful. The biggest pain was gas pain. Like everybody says, if you watch other VSG videos, it's gas pain. It's because, like I said earlier in a different video, during surgery, they inflate your whole abdomen with CO2 so that they can maneuver properly inside of you with the robot. And so after that, gas has to come out, but it's not like how we say gas, like if you eat something and it's too spicy and so now you have heartburn and gas and all. It's not like, oh, you gotta pass gas or anything. It's not like that. It's like it has to leave. And instead of just coming out or going up and burping or going down and passing gas, it's like it just traps in your abdomen cavity. It goes to your shoulders. It goes to your neck. It goes to your back. It's just CO2 just everywhere, and you can't do anything about it but just be. So ultimately, it took me a long time to wake up. I did end up walking, and I'll insert that clip. But while I was walking, I didn't technically pass the test because I was sleepwalking. Like, like I said, I was aware, but I couldn't physically show that I'm with you. But if you notice in the video, in the little clip, I am following directions. I'm answering as best as I can, but it's in such slow motion. But like I said, my goal was to get out before midnight. At 11 o'clock, I noticed that, okay, I need to get out of here because I don't want to leave this hospital with like a $5,000 bill when I paid in cash full, so that I could walk out of this, thousands of dollars I paid in cash full, so I could walk out of this debt free and feeling okay instead of like, annoyed. And so I got a burst of energy. I was like a superhero. I got up, I drank the last 3 of my little things. I was like, hey, nurse, I got to go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom, passed that test. The first time I went, nothing happened. And I was like, oh, why can't I? But the second time I went and they were like, okay, good. Check that off the list. I walked around that hospital back and forth like 4 times. I was like, hey, I got this without the walker, mind you. I was beasting.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm all right.
You feel better?
And then I was more alert. For some reason, just at 11 o'clock, I woke up. I'm like, all right, time to go. Ask me some questions. I'll do a little walk the line test like the police do the drunk people. Like, I'll show you I'm awake. And I passed that test. And so they gave me one more shot of a blood clot medicine. And then they sent me on my way. Q went go get the card and they wheeled me down, and that was that. The only negative experience I had in the hospital, and I'm walking carefully with how I say this because I don't want my own sometimes bias to kind of mess up what I'm trying to say. But I did feel a little bit slighted in the pain management area of patient care. I was in very, very, very bad pain when I woke up initially. Now, granted, it could have been like exacerbated by me not being in my full mental capacity, and it wasn't as bad as it probably was, but they just would not give me pain medicine. Like, when I asked, okay, is there anything like I'll take a Tylenol or something? And they were like, well, your husband went to the pharmacy. He had to go all the way back home, pick up my pain medicine from the pharmacy, and we live in a different state than the hospital, and then come back 30, 45 minutes later, and then give me my prescription medicine instead of me getting medicine while I was already in the hospital. And then when I found out that my medicine was not liquid form, it was pill form, I was like a little bit devastated because I'm like having a hard time swallowing this water. how am I going to swallow a pill? And so I kind of just sat without pain medicine until I left the hospital. And I actually didn't take a pain pill until like 2 days later when I finally got up enough courage to actually swallow a pill. They gave me hydrocodone and acetaminophen, so hydrocodone, Tylenol mix. And then I got a pill for nausea that I'm supposed to take once every 6 hours. And so I really ended up taking, well, I'll go into that in my week 1 video. But yeah, so surgery day was a success. I reached my goal and got out of the hospital in time, walked away debt-free. That's always a plus. And my doctor was excellent. Everything got taken care of. And I was able to feel like everything went well. There were no complications, which were my biggest fears. And so, yeah, I will get back with y'all when I post my week 1 follow-up video. Take care.